Today I want to talk about the difference between fixing and growing. So we're all being told right now by the self-help gurus that you need to be fixed. The pitch goes something along the lines of, you're broken, these are your flaws, and if you subscribe to my service for $49 a month, you will get fixed. We have some magic and some framework that we're going to sprinkle on you, and all of the things that are currently broken about you will be fixed. And sure, maybe we all do need to do more cold plunges and saunas, and we need to go for long walks and run and optimize our lives in some way. And I understand that those things can be useful, but they're not relevant to building and growing who you are. They're relevant to the person selling you the sauna or the person that's trying to get you to buy their book. It's really important to think about this like the metaphor of a house. You are not fixing a broken house. This is not a house in disrepair that needs repairs. You are a foundation on which you are constantly rebuilding a new house. Each phase of your life, each season of your life requires you to build a new house. Just like a house that was built in a different environment would need to have different types of design features. You are the core personality that creates the foundation of that house. And yes, that stuff should be stable and you should know who you are. But each season requires you to dismantle and rebuild a house that is relevant for that particular period, for that environment, for that context. Think about it like a design problem. You have constraints. Those constraints are the foundation. These are your personality traits, the core of who you are. Just because you're a morning person doesn't mean it's a flaw that you have to fix, or that you're, always late for meetings. That doesn't mean something that needs to be fixed. What you need to do is say, that's my core, that's who I am, and now I need to build a house that's relevant to that, and also at the same time relevant to the environment that I'm in. We call this seasons and reasons. How you design that new house, how you create this relevant house in this relevant time, first requires you to acknowledge who you are. That's your foundation. And then starts to look around you and say, where am I now? What is my environment now? What context am I in? That context tells you what it is that you need to be doing. Maybe you're an empty nester now. Maybe you don't need to worry about the kids as much. Maybe your career has taken a different turn, and now instead of you building and accumulating, you're now into preserving and maintaining. Maybe you can travel more because you've got different constraints on you. And so those constraints determine how you're going to build this new world that you're living in. This is fundamental to how Second Harvest approaches our retreats. We are not looking to fix people. We do not believe that people are broken and that they need to be fixed. We believe that you are enough and that your foundational personality traits need to be first acknowledged and understood and honored, and then you need to start building a relevant and environmentally appropriate place for you to be. An example of this is if you are the kind of person who is always late for meetings and you're always late for something, instead of trying to fix that and say, I need to be better, you need to say, how do I build a new house that represents somebody who can work in that environment with those personality traits? This is the way forward for growth. Instead of trying to fix yourself, try and understand what your foundation is, and then your constraints for that particular season you're in, and build something appropriate for that. There are ways to do this. The first way is to write down all of the stories that define you as a personality. What are the core things that make you you? And then, once you've done that inventory of stories, reflect on which of these stories continue to serve you. Which of these stories make sense for you to carry forward into the next rebuild or the next recreative part of your life? If you are able to bring those personality traits into this current situation you're in, those remain your foundation. If you need to rewrite them and you need to create new stories, then those become the new scaffolding that you can build this new house around. I really like the idea that we can do this in the process of acknowledging and honoring who we are at the core, and at the same time growing and rebuilding ourselves. It's a paradox, but it's a beautiful paradox because it allows you to continually work on who you are at the core, while at the same time building on things that make sense for you in this time and space that you find yourself in now. Your next phase, your next season, your next harvest might be the best one yet. And so it's really worthwhile giving yourself some time and some space to be able to reflect on that. And I hope you'll do that.